It is one of God's perfect creations. It is a feat of engineering, an expression of culture, a hallmark of someone giving enough of a shit about you to make a food that isn't logical. 我操 ，Hello 啊，外网的亲朋好友们 ，Friends from the decadent West. Today we make a 小笼包, or as the Shanghainese say, 小笼米的, or as the white say, 小笼包. We are going to start with no bullshit because I'm assuming that not all of you want to stay for this, so I'm going to put all the important shit in the front. Traditionally, it is pork stuffing that can be flavored with crab roe, or mushrooms, and then you spike it with little cubes of gelatinized soup, so that when you go to steam it, the gelatinized cubes melt and then create a perfect little mouthful of thick, sticky broth while you eat. Our cheaters version is still going to start with ground pork. It's going to be seasoned with light soy sauce, in my case white soy sauce, sesame oil, white pepper, a little bit of sugar, because everything has a little bit of sugar in Shanghai, and cooking wine, shaolin cooking wine. The greens of your scallions you can throw in the pork as well. It's not traditional, but I have a hard time wasting it, so throw it in there. The gel will be created via gelatin. You want 1/5 to 1/2 of your meat in jello, depending on how soupy you like it. I like mine still a little bit meaty, so I went with 1/5. Take the whites of scallions, bash them the fuck up, and some ginger, bash it the fuck up. Throw it in a pot with some powdered gelatin, Knox if you're from North America or the West, Knox brand. And you are going to use 5 times the recommended amount of gelatin in grams to what it says in the packaging. The recommendation is 7 grams per 250, which means it should be 35 grams per 250 if you times it by 5. I have half a kilo of water, makes it 70 grams. I know, we're good at math. It's a stereotype. So, 70 grams of gelatin powder to half a kilo of water. Inside goes as many aromatics as you please and as many stock pots as you please. The stock pot or the chicken bouillon powder is your seasoning for this stock. So go a little bit OTT, yeah? Hydrate gelatin powder with a little bit of the water until it kind of goes clear, and then put the rest of the water in, bring it up to a boil, let it steep, strain it out, put it on a baking sheet, throw it in your freezer, let it blow for 10 to 15 minutes until it goes nice and solid. Then you can chop it up into little cubes and mix it into your pork.
你这个汤汁是传统的吗？
No. Traditionally speaking, you would take pork skin and pork fat and boil for hours, then clarify, then gelatinize, then chop it up, then throw it in. But it's a bitch. And it really doesn't taste much better.
现在的店家有人用这个办法做吗？
I don't know. I don't speak for them. I don't own those restaurants. But traditionally speaking, when we were kids, no. But I can't know for sure. So the wrapper is very simple. 180 grams of high protein flour, plus 20 grams of fat of your choice. Use a neutral cooking oil or pork fat, plus 100 grams of freshly boiling water. This is called a tangmian, which translates into English as scalded dough. You are using boiled water to partially gelatinize the starch and cook the wheat proteins inside your dough. Thusly, it becomes more tacky, less elastic, but much more plastic. And it doesn't behave as sticky inside the steamer. Traditionally speaking, in Asian foods, when we're going to steam our little parcels, we're going to be using a scalded dough instead of a raw dough, or shengnian. There's really no right or wrong way to do this. I only recommend you use a machine because do you want to stick your hands into a bowl of boiling hot water? It's up to you. After which, rest your dough inside a plastic wrap or a sandwich bag and let it cool to room temperature or just above so you can handle it. Let it hydrate, let it chill out, let it homogenize and become a pliable, plastic, not very elastic, but easy to work with dough.
老外也会像我们这样子揪气子。
No, they usually cut. The reason is probably because they had machines earlier than us in the everyday home kitchen. There's nothing wrong with directly just cutting. If you ask anybody that isn't me, I think you're a fucking lazy slut if you cut, right? But that's just an opinion. I'm antiquated and it's not important. Pulling is just an easy way to not waste dough.
我看你皮子擀得好薄啊！我们小时候吃的小笼好像皮没那么薄，为什么？
The xiaolongbao with 9.5 million folds with the paper thin skin is not Shanghainese. It's Taiwanese. In Taifeng. So a Shanghainese family that decided to take an extended endless vacation to Taiwan decided to open up their restaurant chain Ding Taifeng. Traditionally, you roll out the skins with a rolling pin, which is why it's going to be thick in the middle and thin on the edges. Instead of rolling these skins out by hand, they use a big press, a roller, a pasta roller. And it comes out tissue thin, and then they use a ring cutter and they cut out the skins. Now it's become an exercise in showing off to have the thinnest, most folded xiaolongbao with the most water inside. But before, remember, the texture you want is pork bone noodle soup, but in one bite. And also the nature of the food has changed. Unfortunately, international food chains and the modernization and westernization of food makes it a different thing. It's not good, it's just different. Now it's become like a second generation Australian Chinese girl named Joanna. Hi, my name is Joanna. I'll be a waitress this evening. Welcome to Ding Tai Fung. Would you like to try our classic fucking pork and crab? That kind of shit.
西方人他们吃到小龙意思真的是因为鼎泰丰吗？
Yeah, because where else are they gonna go? A white person is not gonna organically arrive at the conclusion, I would like a dumpling but all water. How are they gonna say that, right?
我其实只吃过一次鼎泰丰。
I've never been. I get angry thinking about Din Tai Fung. It's a personal problem. It's me. The problem is me. It's not them. I don't know, man. Like when you go to an international Chinese chain, I'm happy that they've expanded the food internationally and it's taken on an entirely new meaning. What I'm unhappy about is it's harder to find the thing that I want to eat.
Like what?
Like the ones with slightly thicker skins, next to the man smoking while he's steaming them, asking me why I'm not at school yet. That's what I'm pissed off about, is Din Tai Fung has made it an almost fine dining experience. You know, you go to Sydney, Australia, and Joanna asks you if you want to try the fucking rainbow LGBTQ soup dumplings. You go to New York, Christina asks you, have you tried the truffle one? It's fucking amazing.
Tokyo, the strawberry and the chocolate.
Yeah, right? And there's nothing wrong with that, I guess. It's just, you know, I take my issue with when it makes the food I want to eat harder to find. In that particular sense, it is the most Shanghainese brand on earth. This isn't for my people. I don't care about my people anymore. I care about... Okay, so when it comes to the wrapping, don't be so greedy. You want to hold these in your hand and fold from your offhand into your dominant hand. Now, to get the twists, you have to make sure that the little parcel of dough you're pinching in your dominant hand doesn't let go. When you start, do not think about going around in a twist, but instead think about going 1/3 at a time. So instead of doing 18 folds in a row, what you're doing is 3 separate folds of 6. 6 plus 6 plus 6 equals 18. And yes, the folds are usually a multiple of 3. I've heard 18, I've heard 21, I've heard 36. It's up to you. Don't let this be the reason you don't make these. Don't let anybody gatekeep the food and stop you from trying this. The amount of folds doesn't make it more or less traditional. Whoever tells you so is a fucking asshole. So start with as little folds as you want. You can do it with 6 folds. For example, like this. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, see? 7. And then just twist it in, pinch up. See, also perfectly fine. A little bit ugly, but edible. So, after you've wrapped them up, here's a bunch that I made earlier. You just throw a piece of parchment paper down, cut a cartouche, throw it down into your steamer basket, shove that lid on, throw it onto your wok burner, and let it hang out for a while. Or in my case, I'm gonna use a bowl, a Ferris work bowl, and then throw the steamer on top of that.
So why do you think Din Tai Fung is so popular in the West?
I think it's because the Taiwanese style of F&B service is very, very useful in the West. You know Shanghainese service.
No service.
Exactly. How about like real Hong Kong service? Law. You're gonna do that in fucking San Francisco? No. But Taiwanese service like, hello sir, how are you? Madam, how are you tonight? That's crazy. Is everybody having a great time? Please let me know if I can feed you or wipe your mouth or your ass. Let me make sure that everything you ever need is already on your table before you even ask for it. Taiwanese food service is very polite for no reason. There's no soul. Why do you think on the mainland everybody tries to hire a Taiwanese person? But mom, you worked in like, you know, some of the first 5-star hotels in China when they came around, right? And everybody loved Hong Kong and Taiwan servers. Why? 因为他们可爱啊。他们说话很甜嘛。干。
I would say pretend to be very polite.
It doesn't matter. Do you think a white person can tell the difference? How do you think a white man can withstand a Shanghainese wife for so long? It's not because he has a good sense of humor, it's because he doesn't understand when she's being mean. So she could just fucking feng shui Paul every single day and he goes, oh, my wife loves me. In all seriousness, I genuinely think it's because their food model is based on really good service, like experience over product. Oh,
What happened?
nothing. I think they're done now. Ready? All right, perfectly gay little parcels. My favorite. Ow, 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 ow. Ooh, they're cute, right? They're fucking cute. Puffy, cute. Super cute. Now, after they've steamed, you want to let them cool down a little bit for a couple minutes. And I will tell you why. There's a very good way of knowing if you fucking nailed it or not. Prepare some fucking vinegar and ginger for myself. 香醋, not 黑醋. If you don't know what that means, ask someone in the comments to translate for you. Ginger will cut through the richness of the pork and the stickiness of the broth. Disgusting on its own. So, here's how you know if you've killed it. I like my xiaolong bao the same way I like my sex. A little bit of head, and then when you poke it up, ooh, you want it to be mostly ass. So you pick it up like this, and it drops. See that? You want that booty to sit up better than 2 bunk beds. I don't have a spoon on me, so forgive me, but you make a little hole, and you check if you have the right amount of broth. So, you always want that to happen. Now, traditionally speaking, the cunty way to eat these is you make a little hole, and you pour out the broth, and you take your gay little spoon, and you put some vinegar in the hole that you just made, and you go poof, 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 and then you have one of the most perfectly balanced eating experiences of your life. Something that I do recommend most people try. It seems intimidating at first, but I guarantee you, as long as you get over the amount of folds, which you will get better at, I promise you, if you make these, you will get better at the folds, but they're not important at first. Get the flavors right, get the meat inside, give her a quick steam. This is actually much easier than making dumplings, and I grew up in the spiritual homeland of dumplings. Trust me, it's worth your time. Comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what else you want to see me make, or what other Chinese foods you might be interested in. Fuck. No, if my mom saw that. My mom saw that, she would stop talking to me. Say, you fucking savage northern man. Look like a fucking caveman first time eating xiaolong bao. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you for the next one. 下周大家，下周，see ya.
See you next week.